Hello comrades! I am in Warsaw with my son and I would like to show you one of the most famous prisons which existed in Poland in the time of the Second World War. So here is my son. He's boring, but so I will make it quick. So the name of this prison is the Pawiak prison, and it is important for me because my grandfather and the grandfather of my son was imprisoned here in 1940. So he has 17 years old, and so his history in the time of the Second World War, it is three prisons. First prison is here in 1940. It's Pawiak in Warsaw. After he was transferred to Auschwitz-Birkenau, and few months before the finish the war, he was transferred one more time to Buchenwald in Germany. So in the time when he was imprisoned here, he has 17 years old, and many Poles like him was imprisoned here without any reason, because only he was here, he was Pole. And it is important to understand the history of the Poland, of the capitalist Poland, which existed here before Second World War, that in the first weeks of the Second World War, Polish elites, Polish bourgeoisie, Polish aristocracy, and of course the Polish government, he escaped this country, and all these elites go to Romania, go to France, and after they went to London. So in the time of the Second World War, the Polish elites was in the security in London, and in the same time the Poles which stayed here was imprisoned, were killed, and where they worked in the concentration camp, like my grandfather Kazimierz Nowicki. Now I will show you some of the things which are here. I can't make it long because my son is boring, but as you see here, you can find all the strats of the Polish society. For example, here you have the prisoners politique. Here was the Jews. I will not read it now for you, but you can read it in the internet. Now I think it is closed. It is closed. And here you can find very famous tree. In this tree there are the name of the people who died here, and it's very sad. And there is my son, which is very unnerved. Now, as you see, here was the entry for this prison, and it is very sad history of Poland. It is history also of my family. So one thing which unnerved me the most is that the people, all these cowards who in the time of war they were in security in London, now in the Polish propaganda they said that this is the Polish heroes and we have to celebrate the people like Tadeusz Komorowski, like all these cowards, all these motherfuckers like General Sikorski and others, the prime ministers, presidents on exile. And they totally forgot about the normal people who in the time of war tried to survive. My grandfather, after these three prisons, after Pawiak, after Auschwitz, In Buchenwald he started to have contact with communists from German communists, but also with Soviet communists, and he became communist in Buchenwald. After he became a member of Polish Workers' Party, and after he go to Moscow, he started to study the history of Marxism-Leninism. It is very important that before war he and his family never was active in the communist movement. It is war, it is this capitalism system which are finished with the barbarity of imperialist war. It's made him and his family, because his two sisters also became communists, and 3 of them went to Moscow and continued they started to the study of the history of Marxism-Leninism, and this is I think this place is very, very sad, but one thing which is good, that he started to be prisoner here, but he finished like a good communist.